Hey there guys, it's Nature88 here, and I'm back again with an episode of Satisfactory, and as you can tell, I've got my smelters up and running. Now, in the last episode, I actually got my maths wrong, believe it or not, and obviously I couldn't edit my video to actually get it correct, but I'll quickly go over what I did wrong on the math. Obviously, as you can see, I've got 6 smelters doing, obviously ironing it for my iron plates, so that's 6. Obviously I've got it doubled, that's 12. Now obviously my ones for my rods, I have 10. Okay, so 5 this side, 5 the other side. Now, in the last episode, I said I had, what was it, 10 constructors for, seriously, am I going to really miss that? 10 constructors for iron plates and 12 for iron rods. Well, anyone who's played the game will like, well, hold on, your maths is wrong. Yes, my maths was wrong completely. I had noticed after I'd done the recording, I was like, dang it. But yeah, obviously it takes 30 and makes 20. So obviously it is actually 12 constructors for iron plates, so I've added an extra 2 on. And somebody may have noticed straight away where I'm going to go with this. And obviously iron rods is half the amount, so of course 10, a lot of ingot, well 10 smelters will actually go into 20 iron rods. 20 constructors for iron rods. So yeah, I've shortened it by 1 and put a row on top like I have done with the screws. And luckily, my screws was actually the correct amount, so I double checked. Trust me, I double checked. I can't believe I did actually realise after the recording. I was like, hold on, why does my math seem wrong? And then I saw one of my notes, like, no, I messed up. Anyway, so today, hopefully, as long as all my notes are correct, and I'm pretty sure they are. If not, I'll double check after the recording, and if needs be, I'll adjust at the end. But yeah, I'm going to sort out some wiring for this lot, so this lot will all start processing, and I'm going to clear this area and hopefully lay some groundwork for my assemblers. So I'll be back once I've got that done, guys. Okay, and as you can see, I've got the groundwork all set and ready and done. Thankfully, thank you for letting me do this. Ah, jeez. And as you can see, I've got a bit of cables, well, I say cables, belts sorted out to come into the area, which will then go to whichever place I actually finally decide to build my assemblers. I'll let you guys see exactly what I've done over here a little bit. Ow. Now, with the smelters, I've set up the wiring, believe it or not. So all I have to do is connect the power line in the right place for the next set. So that will go for the next one, and that will power up the next lot. Am I missing one? No, because obviously there's 6. So yeah, when I do the next lot, I know exactly which ones I have to connect, thankfully. So I put it onto one main circuit. Now this is going to end up being a ton of power, and I do not have a lot. Same again. Obviously I've started this side first. Yeah. So when I get the next lot going, that'll go up, next lot up, next lot up. And you'll be like, well, hold on, how come you got 5? Well, the last lot will actually be 2 instead, if I remember rightly. Yeah, so the next lot will be 2, and the lot after will be 2. It's just I really wanted to save a bit of time. Technically, I could have just put it down to 1 bit, but eh. And then the same will go for the screws on this side as well. Oh, if I can get through the gap. But I think I saw the screws one out a bit more, so I now have to connect to that and connect to that. So my screws was a bit more easy than the rods, even though technically the rods should just be as easy. But yes, everything's been fed in, so I'm getting a few things made up. As you can tell, I've got the belts sorted out, so they'll come out when I finally get any of that lot sorted. Trust me. It's going to be a lot of finagling. I know I should get 300 screws on each shelf or row. I should get rod-wise, I can't remember now, was it 75, if I remember rightly. So double that will be 140? 150, that's correct. And then the plates on both sides, I should get, I think it's about 100? 120? What's the math on? 20 times by 6? Yeah, 120. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I spent a bit of time sorting this out because I just wanted it to be done and ready for when I do get things to move over. So as you can see, I've got the lines set up, so obviously that'll be for the iron plates, that'll be for the rods, them two there, by the way, not them two, because that's the actual screw lot. That's the ingot going in, by the way. And obviously the lines for the screws coming out. So I now know I need to set up around here. So, do I have... I'll have to check to see what I need now for material-wise for actually learning the assemblers, because as you can see, I don't know the assemblers yet. Yet is the fine word for it. Obviously I made it way up so I can actually have a look. But yeah, it's taking me a bit of time. Oh yeah, and just in case you didn't know, I set up the iron node there, which goes over and around and into wherever. So I actually have all my iron nodes connected, hooked up and running. So that's the wrong one. Here we go. Right, I'm going to be back once I've got these materials learned, because, well, got the materials, because obviously it's going to take me a bit of time, so, yeah, I'll be back once I've got all the other one materials ready, so I'll be back in just a jiffy, you guys. Okay, so, let's select this and throw these bits in. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Boom! Done.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
No, they're not. Things are produced by hand. Right. Now that's been shut off. Let's see, I now need to learn a few things, and seriously, I haven't. Right, I'm going to quickly get some copper sheets ready so I can learn the AI limiters, because I'm going to need them so I can make some smart splitters. Yeah. So I'm going to be back in just a moment because I need to get the parts made up, because obviously I need sheets. So I'll be back in just a moment, guys, and hopefully I'll be set. So back in a bit. Okay, and I'm back. I quickly figured out how many assemblers I'm going to need for the job I'm going to do. So, anyway, I wanted to try and learn a few things, didn't I? So, first things first, just going to learn the AI limiters. Which didn't take too long. And smart plating. I should have all the parts for this. Good. It's not going to take too long, so I don't need to edit this bit out. But yeah, I need to learn some smart plating. Now, the reason why is because obviously I'm going to do a bit of an overflow system. Well, I mean a bit, I mean quite a bit. Yeah, I'm going to need things on an overflow. So I'm going to get these being learnt as it goes. Oh, you're kidding me, I need to do reinforced iron plates again? Oh my god. Right. Right, I'm going to get myself over here. I'll go get a few bits set up, and I'll be back once I'm over there with the right amount of stuff, because unfortunately I didn't realise I was going to need more reinforced iron plates, so I'll be back with you guys once I've got that done. So back in just a moment. Okay, so I've made a few parts, and obviously I've quickly built them, because I've learnt the smart splitters, as obviously you know from the last part.
New building unlocked.
You don't say, Ada. Right, so I did a quick little layout here. This might be the size of my assembler room, I'm not exactly sure. But I'll give you a slight idea exactly what I'm going to do. So, and hopefully I've worked out the math. So I'm going to have about 6 machines doing one thing, 5 for another, 5 again, And then there'll be another 5. Now obviously I need 5 Dune smart plating. I'm going to need 5 Dune rotors. I'm going to have 5 Dune modular frames. Yes, believe it or not, 5 modular frames. Now I'm going to go for the reinforced iron plates. Now I'm going to go for this recipe. Now fine, yes, I know this takes a bit longer. Fine, I'm using more power. I could go for 2 of these, but I'm actually using up more screws by, like, if my maths is correct, I'm using an extra 140 screws just to have 2 of these machines going. So that's why I'm going to go for 6 machines running this recipe instead, because it's still going to make the same amount, and I'm using the same amount of iron plates. It's just I'm using less screws altogether. Fine, I'm using a lot more power. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot more power, like 60 more watts than obviously just what 2 of them would do. But so yeah, I haven't even figured out the layout yet. So I'm going to mess around with a few designs and layouts, and I'll be back with you once I've got one sorted. It's just I don't really want you guys to watch me try and sort out layouts for this, because it's going to take me a while. So I'll be back once I've got it figured out slightly. Right, yeah, I think I'm going to go with this layout. Hold on, what's my colour scheme here? So I just want to remember this colour scheme just in case I lose it. Hold on, can I actually save that? Let's call it baby blue, how about that? There we go. Baby blue! Let's see, can I load it? Baby blue! No. Okay, awesome. Right, I'm going to remember it. Yeah, I kind of like the colour. I might change and mess around with it, but yeah. So this is actually the layout, guys. Sorry, I was just thinking if I could save the colour. So as you can see, I've set it up here a bit. Hopefully I've got this right. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so it should go iron plates, because obviously they're the furthest ones, so they'll be down and coming up. Then it'll be the rods, then it should be the screws or screws. I think I might only need the one lot of iron plates, I'm not sure. I mean iron rods, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've got to double check my maths on some of this, because I only wrote this down as I was going. Anyway, so in the middle here, as you can see, I'm going to have the reinforced iron plates. Yeah, trust me, this is going to be the fun bit, sorting out the belts after I've got all this lot figured out. I've figured out how my layout will be, I just haven't figured out how I'm going to have... Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm going to need a lot more materials, guys, trust me. Anyway, smart planes this side, so obviously the reinforced plates will either go around and into the slot, obviously from them 3, because 3 of them will be able to do more than enough for this. And I should have an excess, maybe? Yeah, I'll have an excess of 5, but I'm not going to worry about the excess quite yet. So, again, I'm reinforced iron plates, so they'll come into here. So these 3 will actually do all of these 5 here for the modular frames. I will have rods come in at some point, somewhere in for this lot. And now you're going to be like, well, hold on, what's up there? Well, no, I didn't. Again, I didn't bring the materials with me, did I? I'll reset it all up, don't worry. Ah! And now I can't get up to the top. Now I can. And at the top, we've got the rotors. So again, I'm going to need screws and rods. Yeah. So, to figure out the belt system's going to be a bit... Oh, no, I had stairs... Ah! I can't believe that. I had stairs over that side. Well, ramps, I should say. But anyway, sorry if I screamed. There we go. So yeah, what I'm going to do is... If I don't get the thing trying to shoot at me again. What I'm going to try and do is get all the belt work sorted out, because I'm probably going to either do load balancing, or well, load balancing, I think that's what they call it. Most of it will probably be the overflow system, because the amount of room and space I've got in places, it's going to be a bit more tricky to really get anything done not being load balanced, I think. But what I'm going to do is also sort out a few belts from there, so I'll try and remember what's what at the same time. And as you know, because I've got it color coded over there, I'll try and have the belts color coded in here as well at some point. And maybe I'll have the items and accessories in it color coded as well, which would be insane when I do get it done. Anyway, I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to get this all going in. But I'll start off with probably the iron plates, then start off with the rods, then the screws. And I think I've done the math wrong for the screws, but I'll figure it out, because I'm going to need... What's my notes say here? I'm going to need 500 screws of one, so that's already 600. And I'm going to need 360, which is 860. Huh. Yeah, my maths is wrong somewhere. Oops. Oops. I'll have to get another belt in. Oh well. I'll sort it out when I'm going around. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to sort this out. I'll be back in just a moment, guys. I think I might have done that bit wrong over there. Oh, I'll sort it out in a minute. Anyway, yeah, I've been banging my head against a brick wall half the time. Now, see, I've been using my smart splitters, just in case anyone's wondering why I wanted to learn the smart splitters, because some of this is going to need to be overflowed. And I'm going to need to use both sets of rods, so some of it is going to overflow into a storage. Obviously, I've got the doors in place for later on, so I'm not coming in the bottom here. I'll be actually walking around the top-ish, kind of. But yeah, anyway, as you can see, I should really start from over here, shouldn't I, really? Right, so first things first is my iron plate is going to come down. Now, I'm going to have, obviously, as a sort of splitter over there. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to have a storage over that end, or if I might turn that into a storage area instead. So that splitter in there might go from, instead of being that side, on the other side on that floor. But anyway, as the plates come in, apart from one line, because one of it's going to get split in half, and it's going to come obviously both down and merge into one, because I only need to use the iron plates for one thing, to make reinforced iron plates. So obviously it's going to come to here, and it's going to split, so the right amount will split into each one nice and easily and evenly. Hopefully. It should do. So it's going to split from, what was it, 180 to... Is it 180 I need? No, it can't be 180, is it? Yeah, it's 180 I need. So it's going to split into two 90s. 30 will come off as the other 60 will go down. 30 will come off and then it'll go into 30. But obviously, because kind of an overflow system instead, 30 will fill up pretty quick at this one. Once that's filled up, next log will start filling up until it gets to 100, then it'll fill up the other one a bit easier. Which is fine, because obviously not all of these are going to be up and running straight away. So some of it will be hanging around outside, so it'll start filling up when I get them turned on. But I'll worry about the power work at some other stage. So that's my first set of iron rods, and my only set of iron rods, thankfully. That's the only thing I need them for. I mean, iron plates, sorry, I'll keep getting my... It's been taking me a while, guys, trust me. Now, do I have the material on me? I should really save some of this, shouldn't I? Have I set my iron rods? I have set them up. So as you saw, my iron rods will come out into two directions. One will come over here. Now, I didn't know where to put the smart splitters on this. I was thinking at the ends of everything, but I was like, well, hold on, if it fills up, I need it to be near the start of all of it instead of at the end, because then it can just overflow out a bit easier. Now, obviously, the overflows I've not figured out for anything yet, apart from if it's going to overflow, I'll have it set in its own way. So, obviously, for the smart splitters, because obviously it's coming in at the back, the left side is going to have nothing. As you can see, I've got nothing there. The centerpiece, which is here, is going to have the iron rods come into the system. And obviously, when it's all backed up, which at some point it will, it'll overflow into a line, which I'll sort out, which might... like I said, I might put that as the storage area, so it'll just overflow into there. So anyway, as it is filling up, it will go into the rods one at the top. So they'll overflow because it's the overflow system I'm using. Yeah, that is pretty much how I've got it done. It's just it goes up and then in at one point. Now down here, as you can see, obviously I did have the belt showing. Comes down, goes along, and again meets another smart splitter. Obviously the left side here, can't have anything go out. The airflow is going to be this side, that's why I've got a bit of gap down here, even though stuff will come down at some point. And obviously everything at the minute is going to the right, which will then go up for the modular frames when it's needed. So this will fill up pretty quick while the reinforced iron plates are being made over here. And I've still got to set up how that's going to go. But hopefully they will just merge all together and then split into 5, which is going to be an interesting concept for me to actually get done. I still need to figure out the math for that one. Hopefully it'll work. I have no idea. I haven't even figured it out. And my screws, have I actually got part of it done? I think I have, or most of it. Yeah. So obviously one line has 300, which will go between 3 of the machines at the top here for the rotors. So it'll go into that one. It'll split even. Well, I'm going to say evenly. It'll split into 3. So 100 will go into there. 100 will go into there. 100 will go into that one. Boom. Done. Now the next one. That's going to be the interesting factor. I'm not joking. It's going to be very interesting now. I've done this one. Now what I've done for this is I've tried to do a percentage splitter. I say splitter. I've done it so it should split kind of evenly. I was going to use a smart splitter up here to overflow, but considering it's going to go down into another system, I thought no, I need to just balance this just right. So obviously I'm going to need 200 for these, but to go between these two machines. So I'm going to have an excess of 100. So obviously when I get it, it's going to obviously split into 100 each. So I need 200 to go into this splitter. Out of 300, mind you guys, this is out of 300. I've had to work the math out for this from a 300 line. Now this is obviously my merger, and again I've got a splitter. So the line over there, one of them lines will, which has 300, will come into this splitter. Now this is going to split into 3, believe it or not. So one's there, which is going to this merger. The other one is going out, which is going into that merger yet again. And then I have one is going out there. So obviously they'll have 100 line, 100 line, 100 line. So them two will merge together, which will make 200. And then go into the splitter, which will then break off in their direction. Now I could do it where I just had a splitter which went 100 there, 100 in that one, and then 100 down. But I was like, nah, what's the fun in that? I should have done it that way now instead, but it's fine. Anyway, so you'll be wondering what was with the other 100. So the other 100 is coming down, and yes, before anyone says anything, it is an excess amount. It's coming down, so it can go into, believe it or not, the reinforced iron plates. Obviously, it only needs 60, but I've got 100. Again, it's just going to be a bit of excess. It's only 40, so the system may be a bit slow to start with anyway. I don't care. It's going to work. If needs to be, I could always adjust one of the screw machines for whichever belt this actually will be. I have no idea, to be honest. Now, obviously, I need a third belt, because I've still got one belt left, which will come down to here. Yeah, they'll come out a bit and go down, and literally just go to this machine here, because it needs 60 each. So obviously 300 divided by 60 is 5. Just in case you don't believe me. I know people are going to be like, are you sure your maths is right? Yes, I've had to use this to check. So 300 divided by 60 is 5. So obviously it splits here. It's not exactly the greatest split. I just decided to do an overflow system. So it'll split there, split there. Them two will fill up pretty quick. The rest will be flown. Plus a bit of will be flown straight away, which then will be split between 3. So, like I said, it is going to be 300. And yes, I know, I'm only using Mark 1 belts. It's because I just really don't have the Mark 2s yet until I get this system up and running. And believe me, I've then got to use all my math in my head to try and work out how much is coming through at the start and time until I get into Mark 2 miners, and then I can have it all powered up. Anyway, I'm going to do a little bit more work, get everything connected on these parts, so this will go to wherever it needs to go. And I'll give it a bit of a paint job. Obviously, I haven't sorted out the assemblers for the smart plating just yet. Like I said, I've just got the outputs to go into the inputs to sort out, so I'll be back once I've got that done as well. And hopefully this won't look too out of place. I'm dreading it. it's taken a long time to do this, I swear. Anyway, guys, I'll be back once I've sorted it all out and maybe given it a bit of a paint job. Back in a moment. Okay. That was a long job. And yeah, I know, I've painted it a weird colour. I forgot where my baby blue was. I'll have to sort it out. Luckily, I've actually written down the number. Well, I can write the number down again. I'll have to just check the footage later on. When I'm editing, I'll check the footage. I know I've got baby blue written somewhere, so I'll get the number. Yeah, I accidentally deleted it. I was going through and accidentally hit the side. I was like, yes, and I was like, oh no, where's my baby blue? Where's my baby blue? So yeah, I've accidentally lost my baby blue colour. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, it's kind of a mess. It's organised, but it's kind of all over the place. And I've got it all painted so I know exactly which line is going which way and what is what. Apart from I haven't painted the belts yet, because like I say, I've got to upgrade the belts, so until I get the Mark 2s and Mark 3 belts, I am not painting the belts, because there is no point if I upgrade them and it changes. But anyway, the system should work. As you can see, I've got it connected from that point to here, and not further. I need to get everything sorted, which I'll do. And I've got the electric works to sort out. Anyway, so as you saw, I had gone around and showed you guys where everything actually is. As you can see, that'll be making rotors. Oh, this will be making the reinforced iron plates. Obviously, both sides. I will sort out a walkway when I get the thing learned. Obviously, this will be making the modular frames. And, God, I fell down. This over here, I'll use this side, be easier. We'll be making my smart plating. And I still need to choose a colour for the smart plating, but it should all, nope, it didn't let me up. It should all work kind of fine. I'm hoping. But yes, as you can see, I got all my, dang system, come on, let me up here. I should have kept myself up there. Anyway, as you can see, my rotor's all merged together. Obviously, it goes that way into the centre. It then goes into a splitter, believe it or not, and I get it to split two ways, because obviously I am making, obviously, 4 from each machine, so I've got 5 up there. So 4 times by 5 is going to be 20. And obviously, I'm only going to need 10 between these 5 machines here, so obviously 10 divided by 2 is obviously, oh, funny, ha 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 ha. I'm tired. Oh, right. 2. 20 divided by 2 is obviously going to be 10. So obviously these machines are going to be taking 10. So that's good. So 10 will come off into this system here. Or go into that. 10 will leave onto that pipe, and 10 will leave into this splitter, which obviously splits. Obviously I know this one in the middle will take it a bit more. It will take probably 4 or 3. And the others will take about 3, or maybe a 4 at one stage, and then they'll split in their corresponding. But that should fill up pretty quickly anyway, especially if the system I've got actually works correctly. Now I could instead use a smart splitter instead, so obviously when these are actually folded up and they're not moving, it'll then start producing excess, but I'm going to need the excess rotors to begin with. Rotors for later on, so that's why I've got the pipe there for at the minute. So obviously these I'll be making at least 10 per minute, which is going to be great because obviously I'm going to need them for the space elevator. So instead of having to wait for 2 per minute, I'll be having 10 per minute, so it shouldn't take as long. Obviously my modular frames I'll be having 10 per minute. 2 times by 5, yeah, it's 10. So these should pretty much work pretty quickly as well. I've just got to sort out a route for them to go out the back here. So they'll probably come down, merge, and go somewhere. I'm not sure. They might just come down at the back here. Might have, like with that lot, just go to about maybe there, through a double window and out, or maybe a triple window, because I might get them joining, or I'll get them going out over there-ish somewhere. I'm not sure. I've not worked that bad out. But this has taken me 6 hours. And I'm kind of losing my mind at exactly what I'm doing. That might be the reason why I lost my baby blue colour. I like my baby blue. But I will sort it out. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save you a bit of time. I'm going to get myself up there so you can see exactly how this looks from up there, guys. Okay, it'll take me a bit of time to get around and up. And I've realised my power system is actually turned off, so that's not working anymore at the minute until I get some fuel in, but it's fine. Anyway, as you can see, yay! It looks like a bit of a mess, but it's organised. It works. And if you can see the colours, you'll be like, okay, so that's where that goes. Okay, you know exactly where things are going to be. So this is kind of why I've colour coded it. So at least then, if you see, you know, that one there, you know, that's screws. You know, you see that one there, you know, that's rods. I think from this distance I can't tell. So yeah, rods there. You know, down there, what I'm looking at is actually the white there is obviously my iron plate. So I know exactly what colour is doing for which item and what product I've got going through. So yeah, in some ways colour coding this has helped me out quite a bit, and hopefully guys it's helped you out, especially if you're like going on what's that one, what's that pipe. Yeah, I know I haven't done the belts in a colour coded thing, because like I said, when I get Mark 2s and 3s and 4s, and I think there's a Mark 5, I'm going to wait till I get them, and then I'm going to use, when I know it's maxed, I'm going to paint them colours. So until I do, I'm not painting them. I think I just need to get a few Mark II belts in a few places, which is, I think, partly the iron plates coming this way, but then when it gets to about here, it won't be. It'd have to be the Mark III belts, sadly enough. But yeah, as you can see, I've put a roof on the top of that lot, and I've got to sort out a roof for that. But yeah, I may not have mentioned this. I actually cover this around, so I've actually made it look more like it's a viewing area. So I'll have windows in the gaps there at the bottom. Obviously, them 3 rows are actually all the belt work, which or any belt work I've got. But yeah, I'll probably do a viewing platform around this side. I might have it go in a bit more, so it's a bit more viewable. You know, maybe I'll get some lizard doggos and have them living in there. Make it more like a petting zoo then, in some ways. Yeah, look, he's my lizard doggo friends. Which will probably just look at me and go, why? Why would you leave us here? Because it's fun. Yeah, it pretty much is. But yeah, I decided to leave, obviously, as you can see, I left that bit of wall because I couldn't really do anything for my assemblies in that space. You know, that's taking up more space than what that space there is, by an extra 2. Literally an extra 2, and it's just that in one direction, I think. Yeah, just by an extra 2. If I had the extra 2 space at the back there, it probably would have all fitted, and probably a bit easier, really, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's considering how tight I've put that, it's quite a lot. I know I could have probably reduced it all if I did just complete overflow system. You know, I could have had one underneath the other, to be honest. But I wanted to have a bit of a system that kind of works and looks right, and you know, it's my assembler factory for just, you know, basically tier 1 stuff of the whole space elevator. So for me, this whole system here works, and I enjoy it, to be honest. So, apart from the fact I've spent so much time doing that, and because now I've actually unlocked the assemblers, I kind of want a little bit of a breather. And obviously I had to start the mistake like I mentioned at the start of the video, so hopefully you guys, if you hadn't noticed, hopefully you're like, so that's why that's not been working fully. You know, yeah, I know, like I said, I noticed straight away, and I do apologise for anyone who's decided to copy my system. Like I say, it's just an extra few here and there. But obviously I need to get these learnt, so I will get this, you know, I'll put that on there, so next time we're back you'll see it. And because I actually learnt some others, I unlocked my first lot of stuff because I got my assembler parts, which means copper sheets, rotors, and modular frames. So these two, I should be able to get some alternative recipes for a bit easier instead of what I already do have, which I think is mostly for the reinforced plates. And that's it really, I think. And obviously the normal stuff. So I'm going to throw 2 drives in because I can't really make anything else at the minute. Again, at the minute. I'm going to see what unlocks I get from this, which will be absolutely fantastic to do. And I still didn't do my power poles, did I? Nope. Am I an idiot for not doing it? Yes. And technically I want to get the programmable splitters at some point. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to let this run, and I'll be back once it's unlocked me an alternative recipe, and hopefully it's going to be a good one. So I'll be back once that's done, guys. Okay, guys, before I go and check my mum, because obviously it will still be a few minutes, I know I'm going to get a few people go, oh, hold on, how have you had so much copper wire? Oh, got so much. Well, obviously, like I said, there is a copper node up here, and I actually built 4 miners. So I will actually be doing the copper wire itself manually and making cables. So just a heads up, I think the next episode I'm going to do will probably be to do with me getting copper wire, well, the wire, cables, and probably the copper sheets sorted out. Which I'll probably do a base around here for it, a bit easier and a bit more. And I might set up a thing just for my constructors a bit more to make some concrete, because all I've got is just like 2 constructors up there just making concrete just down the open at the minute, and I still ain't brought that any closer down, have I? No. I ain't checked on it actually in a while, so you know what, as soon as it's not too far, let's see how full that is actually, because that's the only one thing I've actually got storing in the storage bin at the minute now. Everything else is actually in the machine itself. That's almost full. It's a good thing I checked on that there just then. I've been doing quite a lot. Yeah, I hadn't checked on that in ages. This episode has taken me 6 hours? Almost. Right by the time I got these 2 researched, it will be 6 hours. Oh, hold on, I lied, I do have no storage, but this is to make biofuel. So obviously that one's almost full, as you just saw. This one's completely full. Yeah, I've got a Mark II belt to make sure it fills up. It's I thought I'd run out. There as well. Whichever one's run out, you've run out. Right, let me just throw the switch back on you. I think I just need you to be running. Hold on. I have 4, so where's the... Well, technically, only 3 of you need to be running, don't you? No, I'm going to need all 4 of you to be running. Oh dear. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just in case I have anything else that needs running. But yeah, I've exceeded the amount of power I'm actually making at the minute. Again, that's at the moment. When I get the assemblers going, that means the power level will go up, means I'll probably have to get some more bioreactors going, or bioburners, which is going to be annoying as anything, so I really need to get into coal power real soon. Right, like I said, I'm going to wait until this is done and I'll be back right with you. Okay, looks like the mam's finally done. I've just been out here peacefully watching the scenery. I was like, let the time just pass me by. Right, let's get the mam built over it. Now, if I remember rightly, that is quite a lot per minute. I think that's like 260 screws a machine, which wouldn't be bad, but I'd need to have steel screws being made. Stitched iron plates isn't a bad one, because it doesn't take a lot, but it doesn't really make as many. Fused. I don't know which one to go for. You know, I'll go for that one. And we'll get the hard drive going on that one. Right. So, do I have enough to check? No, I don't. Dang it. Yes, I do. Oh. There we go. So I'll turn it back through. So, obviously, the normal modular frames is 3 and 12 rods. The alternative, which we just got, 7.5. Okay, fine. I could probably have less, but that's a lot more screws. And I don't really have a lot of screws. I've got like 300. That means I could have 2 machines running. It'd kind of end up being the same, and I'd have like 20 screws spare. That would mean my rods are kind of pointless making, apart from for the rotors. So, yeah, fine. I'm making more. I'm using more power again. But again, I don't have the belts for it, and I really need the belts for it. So I'm gonna keep what I've got. If instead, guys, you want to make this alternative recipe, if you get this one, go for it. As long as you've got the screws, just you'd have to change most of your rods to a screws machine. I'm not messing around with that because I'm still going to need a few rods, but I still need a load of screws later on. If I had steel, it'd be fine, but if needs be, I could just get this setup done somewhere else, and I'll show you this setup for a different system for this one. But yeah, no, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to keep it as the normal modular frames. You know, again, even though I could make more a bit quicker, and probably 3 less machines, it's too much of a hassle now at this point. I've spent, like I said, 6 hours just getting this setup done. It's annoying that I do this and it gives me an alternative recipe, which would be fantastic. No, it's annoying because, like I say, 5 of these going down to 2. Again, fine. I could get them done a bit easier, but it's then bringing the screws down, and I'm pretty sure I need them screws for something else. So yeah, no, it's not happening. Like I say, I need them 300 spares for another job. I did bring that down, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Anyway, I'll wait till the other one's done and see what alternative recipe I get. So I'll be back once that's done, guys. Okay, and what do we get? Iron wire. Okay. Let's see. 22.5 per minute. It's not really worth 5 ingots to make 9 wire and only make 22.5 a minute. Okay, iron alloy, which is copper and iron. If it's 2 impure nodes, I wouldn't mind, but no, I'm not going to probably use that. Oh no, not another. Okay, copper sheets and screws to make copper rotors. It's a bit more rotors, don't get me wrong. 11.25 a minute, so basically 11 per minute. Out of all the recipes, that's probably the better one, really. So I'll probably go for that one. I don't believe this. I'm actually going to go for an alternative copper recipe. And no, I didn't pick up with the alternative. Enough stuff for it. Okay, so let's see exactly how much it is. I'm not going to go for it unless I get another setup done. Right, so obviously my normal rotors is 20 rods and 100 screws. See, this just got rid of all my rods and gone for screws straight away now. 22.5 sheets, So 23 sheets a minute. And about 200 screws. I know it's 195, but that's 200 screws. I could probably just have one machine with the amount of screws I have. Saying that though, my normal recipe is going to probably be better than the alternative at the minute. At the minute, it's going to be better. Again, it's because I've not got a huge amount of screws being made. Like I said, if I had the steel screws recipe, they would probably be better, which I'm not able to learn until I've actually gone up in the space elevator one tier and learnt the coal and, well, I should say learnt steel products, because obviously I'd have to make the steel for one, steel ingot, and make the steel beams. Obviously then the steel beams can be turned to screws and it would be called steel screws instead. The screws you get from that is 270. I think it's 270 per minute. Which, if I had that as a recipe, I'd definitely be using the alternative a lot easier. But obviously, I need to make sure I can actually move the screws to the product. So, at the minute, still, there's no point me using the alternative recipes apart from obviously the caster screws, which make a bit more screws than what I would make originally, and plus it saves a lot on the machine. So I don't have to go through the process of having to use rods to make screws. So yeah, I've already saved quite a bit of power that way. So actually I'm not 100% worried about it. Anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please do hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And obviously, hopefully you've enjoyed me building my assembler area up quite a bit. If you do have any questions about how I've set up, please do let me know, and I may do a video, or I might go over each zone at one point, my whole iron process part, and then maybe all my assembler process parts, or even just for my starter section. Like I say, once I've probably got my copper going, and before I get the space elevator going, I might do a bit of a tour, just to go over things, just in case anyone's a little bit confused about how I've got my setup. But hopefully, me just going and getting things done, and hopefully I've been able to show you a bit of my math at the same time of how I've worked out what I'm going to be, how I've built this. Hopefully it's helped you out. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys very soon, and I'll see you again shortly. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you feel as satisfied as I do on Satisfactory. And obviously like I said, I'm going to dominate this world and take it over, and you will be mine. You will be mine, you pretty little thing. I'm going to eat you. Bye for now, guys.